Something is definitely shifting on social media right now. Short form video is literally destroying our brains. I'm not just saying this, I don't just think this. The data finally backs this up. There were 71 studies recently done with nearly 100,000 people, and this research is proving why people are moving away from short form content in droves and gravitating towards long form content. So if you're a business owner or a content creator, you really need to pay attention to what's going on right now, because what is about to happen in 2026 could completely change your social media strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you what I'm seeing as a YouTube producer, because I have this unique access to 6- and 7-figure YouTube channels, the backend data, the monetization strategies, business models, and what I'm seeing is backing this shift up in a major way. Ladies, class is in session. First, I do want to talk about what is happening with a lot of the platforms right now. So TikTok's growth, it is slowing down. According to Entrepreneur, TikTok's growth rate crashed in Q4 of 2023. I know we're a few years beyond that, but the trend is continuing. And keep in mind, guys, that this is an app that had crazy growth since 2016. And it's just now finally starting to stall out. But it gets a little bit worse for TikTok. TikTok just signed a deal to spin off its US assets to American investors. So according to CNN, this deal creates a new joint venture where ByteDance only retains about 20% of the ownership. And right now, you might notice that the algorithm seems wonky. If you talk to a lot of TikTokers, a lot of my clients have TikTok accounts, or they know a lot of successful TikTokers, and that is something that a lot of them are seeing. The algorithm seems wonky, and it's because it is. The creators are feeling it right now. The algorithm on TikTok is a mess. They are recalibrating everything. So people who had all of their eggs in the TikTok basket are realizing now that they're not seeing the growth and the views and whatever sales they were making there that they're used to. The Entrepreneur article I mentioned earlier also said, which I think is relevant here, that TikTok's US average monthly users between the ages of 18 and 24 declined by almost 10% from 2022 to 2023. So that is interesting to me. It's that core demographic that is actually leaving the platform. So I don't know if it is because of this idea of people coming to terms with the fact that this short form content is not good for them. There is a movement right now. I'm seeing, I don't know if you're seeing a lot of this, but I am definitely seeing this, of people like being very intentional of their social media usage, of their short form content, specific short form content usage. There's all these tools that come out, great apps that are out there that help people really control their viewership of these short form videos. Because I mean, it's such a time suck, it's such a waste of time, and the algorithms are meant to suck you in and keep you for not just minutes, hours upon hours every single day. So I think we're all cumulatively as a society getting burnout from that. And a lot of people I know too, on a side note, are not making money from the TikTok shop like they thought that they would as well. There's just a bunch of things happening now with TikTok and TikTok creators. And now Instagram, you know, the thing is that with Instagram, there's so many changes all the time to the algorithm. It's very pay to play. So I know of influencers on Instagram that are paying for ads just to get some reach on their content, the same kind of reach that they were getting a few years ago. So you're basically paying to reach your own audience on Instagram. And I think business owners, especially that have relied on Instagram for growth, are waking up to this and are looking around and they're going, okay, where can I actually build something that's sustainable, that's stable? Now the answer, I'm biased, of course, because I do YouTube. I've been doing YouTube. I've been strategizing and producing for YouTube for almost 10 years, but it's YouTube. Answer has always been YouTube, and it still is YouTube, and it especially is YouTube in 2026. It's not just about that platform instability. People are exhausted. They're over the dopamine hit. And now we have the proof. That study. So NBC News reported that a review of 71 studies with nearly 100,000 participants found that heavy consumption of short form video was associated with poor cognition, especially attention spans and impulse control. So the research, though, also found links to depression, anxiety, stress, and loneliness. That's not great, guys. That's not good. Right? I think we all instinctively knew this was an issue, but now the research is backing up. There was another study of 14 research papers. Same thing, shorter attention spans, poor performance in school. People are calling it brain rot. And I think they're right. I think it's like literally rotting our brains. I know for me, I don't love it. I don't personally like to consume short form content. I think there's some valuable content there, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just the amount of it and the way the algorithms and platforms are set up to just kind of feed you that content, even if you want it or not. There's new apps like Opal popping up specifically to help people limit the amount of time that they're on screen, because I think people are realizing more and more just how damaging all of this short form content consumption is. Now there's data to prove it. But YouTube, I'm happy to say, does not get that same rap. I think like people think about YouTube like they're watching a television show. It's more intentional. You're choosing to click on it. So the thing is with short form, when you get onto a short form platform and you're looking at your phone or whatever, like that content is being fed to you. Granted, you've been kind of priming that algorithm with what you watch and like what you search for, but it's being fed to you. When you go onto YouTube, you have to click on a video. People are choosing to watch that video, and it's more intentional. The experience itself is better. And I do think people are gravitating more towards it now. Here's the thing, it's not just the viewers who are tired. The creators of short form content are exhausted as well. That churn and burn, that need to upload every single day and be on the platform every single day, it's just not sustainable. For people that have been doing this from the start, from when Instagram and TikTok were first around, I mean, I know a lot of creators that get burnt out from that content. They're over it. It's just exhausting. And there's a word that I'm hearing a lot of people talk about when it comes to content and content creation. It's this idea of slow content. The idea of being more intentional about when you post and not just like posting every single time for the algorithm every day. And so this is the thing about YouTube, is that I think YouTube fits into this idea of slow content because you can be really successful uploading just like once a week. I mean, I even have some clients that, even though I don't love it, they upload twice a month and they're still relatively successful. And it's not this awful grind. Comparing it to Instagram or TikTok where you're expected to post like every single day, sometimes people have to post like multiple times a day. And the other thing too, which I think is really interesting, I had a conversation with someone recently and she was like, I like YouTube because I feel like it's so much better for the nervous system. Because with the short form content, to kind of be up on the algorithm, you have to be very consistent very frequently. And with YouTube, you can relax a little knowing that you can upload once a week or even like skip every now and then, but you still have that library of content that continues to work for you. She's like, for me, it's just like, it's better for my nervous system. I'm like, I like the way she put it that way. And I'm like, I fully agree. That's why part of the reason why I really advocate for women, that are looking to build a personal brand online and to grow online. The best place to do it is YouTube because it's not that same type of grind that the short form content is. I am very, very biased. I am very biased towards loving YouTube because it's what I do. So you're never going to hear me say otherwise. I'm giving you a lot of reasons for why I love YouTube so much. I'm going to give you even more. Also with YouTube, you're not creating content that disappears in, 48 hours or 72 hours. You're building this long form asset. I have clients with videos from like 12, 14 years ago that the videos are still making them money, which is insane. Still getting revenue. They're still getting new people from these old videos. And you can't say that about Instagram Reels or like TikTok. Now I want to talk about AI. Because to me, this whole AI thing and what's going on in AI is going to impact all social media. It is impacting social media. And so the one thing I'm seeing is that short form content is getting hit the hardest with that AI slop. And the reason being is that it's simply just easier and cheaper right now to produce short form content using AI. It's going to get to the point where we're going to see a lot more long form content, people using AI avatars. There's already people using AI avatars, but it is a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit harder. People are just still learning to adapt to it. As these AI tools do become more and more accessible and just easier to use, I do think we're going to see a lot more of this AI content on long form. But I always believe that people have been, will be, and continue to crave that real, authentic, human-based content. And I think they might have that craving even more. There might be a period of time where we get really into the AI and everyone starts using that AI avatar and everyone starts incorporating AI in their videos. But I think at some point people are going to get back to saying, I really want that human connection. I think we're at a point right now where that human content, at least for long form content, is still there, still valued. And it's a period of time where you can get on there and establish yourself as a real, authentic human influencer. Because who knows what's going to happen in the future. I think when the tools get really easy to use, the question is going to be, are you going to show up as your own human self or are you going to show up as your AI self? And I think a lot of people are going to choose their AI self because it's just easier. It's just so much easier. I mean, I'm spending an entire day here filming, setting up. It can be exhausting. And to be able to, like, at a switch of a button, have an AI influencer do it, it's very, very tempting. But I think there's going to be a line between people that want to lean into that as creators and people that don't. Ultimately, it's the viewers that are going to decide what they want. And viewers might be okay. They might be okay with an AI avatar teaching teaching them something. They might not need that human connection if they're just simply going on to learn about something. In other instances, they do need that human connection. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, but I do think that it's the short form that's going to be hit the hardest first, and then long form. But I think that there is going to be a premium for real, authentic, human, long form content on YouTube. In an age where everything is starting to feel fake and generated, that long form human content where you can actually connect with a real person, that is going to be gold. The people that choose to be human on YouTube, on their social platforms, and choose to show their human selves, I think that is going to be what's really valuable in the future. All right, we got to talk about money, because for me, this is where long form truly, truly shines in compared to short form. Because at the end of the day, if you're a business owner, if you're a content creator, you're making content, you're spending all this time and energy and money creating content, you need to get an ROI from this. But maybe you're thinking, Erika, isn't it too late for me? Is it too late for me to get onto YouTube? Is it just too saturated? There's so many people already. Everybody's already said anything. There's nothing else to be said. But I want to show you some real actual numbers. Like, I'm biased. I do this all day long. I work with new people all day long. I see new people coming onto YouTube all day, every day, and seeing a lot of success. But sometimes you need to see the numbers and hear the stats to really believe it for yourself. What really matters is the money that's being poured into the platform. Now, brands are spending $36.1 billion in ad revenue on YouTube. That's how much ad revenue was generated. I think that was 2025. So that's a lot of money that brands are putting into YouTube to get their eyes on your audience. So YouTube is definitely alive and well and thriving, and the brands aren't stopping. They are putting money in through ad revenue, but also through sponsorships, through videos themselves. I have so many clients that work with brands on a video to video basis, are generating 6 figures a year from just brand deals themselves. It's happening, and it is continuing to happen. Another interesting study shows that brands are seeing a higher ROI from YouTube compared to Instagram. So I think that's really interesting. And I think it's because the buyer on YouTube is different. The buyer on YouTube is looking more for transformation, not so much for entertainment. They're in more of a focused viewing habit versus just a passive viewing habit. Another interesting stat is that 87% of YouTube viewers have bought from a brand after seeing it on YouTube. And that's according to Google themselves. I think that's a really powerful stat, and one that, not to take lightly. You compare it to short form platforms where you need millions of views just to make decent money. And I'm seeing this with clients, right? I have a client who came to me and has millions of followers on Instagram and TikTok. And when looking at the counterparts that are on YouTube and the people that they know that are on YouTube, she's like, the YouTube people I know are making more money, even though they have smaller followings than me. And so she's like, I need to get onto YouTube. It's like, I'm making good money because I have a large following, but it's exhausting. Like, the amount of content I have to make is exhausting. With my clients, long form, obviously naturally because I work mainly with YouTubers, but long form content, even though they have pretty robust followings in other platforms, long form content is where they're making their money. I'll give you a couple examples. I have a client, her name is Katie Ferraro. She teaches baby-led weaning. She has over 500,000 followers on Instagram, and she has one of the top podcasts in her space. She hired me to launch her YouTube channel, and when we were around 20,000 subscribers, she said, you know what, Erika, my 20,000 subscribers on YouTube are making me way more money than both my Instagram and my podcast combined. And here's another example. I have clients, 2 of them, Annette and Sarah, and they host a show on YouTube. Thanks for visiting. They teach women how to buy Airbnbs and do Airbnb businesses. And they have a very highly rated podcast. They have relied heavily on ads in the past, but after going all in on YouTube, they hired me to launch their YouTube channel, go all in on YouTube. They found that their small YouTube channel, which I think they're at 25,000 subscribers, is now bringing in 76% of their leads. And that's just anecdotal. I mean, I have tons of examples like that, but there's actual data now that backs this up. There's a report, and it's Upskillist. They said that videos lasting 5 to 30 minutes average a 38% engagement rate, which is a lot more than short form content. Long form content really is better at getting conversion and revenue because it has more information, it has more value, it has more context. And the thing is, though, if you're a business owner in a specific niche, this is what I'm seeing. There are so many businesses that are not on YouTube. Pretty much every business has some kind of Instagram page or TikTok account or something, but it's rare when you find them have a YouTube channel. If you have a niche business and you have an online business or a brick and mortar business or some kind of business, I think you are missing out big time by not being on YouTube. And I think there's so much more opportunity on YouTube because so many people just are not willing to get onto YouTube, especially business owners that they understand understand they need to market their business, but they always just flock to Instagram or TikTok or even a podcast. But that space on YouTube is wide, wide open. And I do want to talk about YouTube itself for a second. YouTube is massive. It's huge. It's got 2.5 billion monthly users. It's literally larger than Netflix. In fact, YouTube claims a record-breaking 11.1% of TV viewership in the US, surpassing all TV and film streaming services, including Netflix, including Disney Plus. Another reason why I'm so obsessed with YouTube, and I have to say, I think this is the number one reason. This is the reason why I'm obsessed with YouTube, why I think it's the best platform, is because your content sticks around. It doesn't disappear. Instagram content, it's irrelevant, it's 48, 72 hours later. But your YouTube videos, they keep working for you. Like I said, I have clients still getting paid from videos that are uploaded decades ago, still making sales, still getting leads. Ladies, it's long form, long game. So here's what you need to know. Long form content is definitely here in 2026. I think it's having a moment, and it's backed by real data. People are tired of the brain rot. I know I am. That short form content fatigue. People are sick of it, and the research prove it. Not to mention, the platforms are kind of unstable. Like I said, Instagram is pay for play. TikTok, the algorithms are all over the place. And the creators are burnt out. They're burnt out from working so hard on these platforms that are so unstable. And then the other thing is AI. AI is starting to flood our feeds with slop, making that authentic human connection more valuable than ever that YouTube delivers in spades. YouTube, it requires patience, it requires a commitment, and it requires creators who show up consistently. But if you do it, you're gonna be so happy you made that decision today to go all in on YouTube. You don't wanna wait a year from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. You wanna do it today. If you've just been wanting to start YouTube, or maybe you've been neglecting a channel that's been collecting dust, let this be your sign. Let this be the fact that you clicked on this video, watched this video all the way to the end. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Let this be your sign that this is your year and your time to go all in on YouTube. 2026 is a year of long form, and you don't want to miss it. So let me know in the comments, are you feeling this kind of short form fatigue? Are you feeling like this brain rot? It's like you hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. Are you ready to go all in on YouTube? Let me know. And if you're looking for more help from me, I am hosting a live class where I teach my signature YouTube brand blueprint. So you're not going to want to miss that class. And if you want to watch more, make sure you check out this video on how you can make money on YouTube in 2026. Until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you. And if you made it all the way to the end, make sure you subscribe. Mwah.